What's going on, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Summing Up with the Summers. It's your boy Damon.
And Kathleen.
You know what it is. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us here. Another episode coming your way right now, hot off the press. Being in love versus loving your partner. We're digging into kind of that, verses almost. Is it the same? Are they both needed? Could you have one or the other? Right? Can you be in love without loving them? Can you love somebody without being in love if you're in a relationship? We're going to dig into all of that here. But before we do, we always got to say thank you so much for listening and rocking with us here. And before we do that, we go no further than to the reviews. And we got to shout out everybody because we finally accomplished that summer goal because it's still summer. Accomplished it, and we got 100 Apple reviews. So thank you for everyone who reviewed. So who we got this week?
All right. Thank y'all so much. Seriously, we made it.
That's a
big deal.
On time.
Yes, and with a little surplus.
With a little surplus.
Yeah, all right. So we appreciate y'all. So, and they keep coming. And we're only in just January's reviews. So
that's true. We're going to be hitting these reviews for months on.
Exactly.
Very true.
So we appreciate y'all. So it says, so helpful. Sorry.
5 stars. 5 stars only. Which I'm going to get into that for a moment.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Please.
Feel like I'm getting to pick the brains of people I aspire to be like in all sorts of topics. I started a new relationship right around the time you started this, and it's been great to help me process through things. You're funny and honest and make me feel hopeful and encouraged. I really appreciate the vulnerability you bring too. Thanks, y'all. This came from KJR493.
Okay, KJR.
Yeah, that's really...
Appreciate you. They said they got into a relationship when we kind of was starting.
When we started this podcast.
Look at that.
Yeah, that means a lot.
That's dope.
It's just straightforward.
We're just telling you what we know and what we've been through.
I really hope that relationship is still thriving.
I hope so.
And I hope that y'all talk about it. I know a couple of listeners, they... listen to it together with their spouse or their partner or whoever they're in a relationship with, and they kind of have dialogue around it. And we couldn't express how that is what this is like. So we would love for it to happen. So that's awesome. Thanks.
Definitely.
Much.
KJR, 5 stars, so helpful. Really quick, just want to make
we don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. I just want to make a small little plug here because we had a little Facebook situation where we had a friend. Somebody we know. Came into our house, ate our snacks.
Said, Damon, help me get with my wife today many years ago.
The 3. We're 3 for 3 out here in these streets.
And then decided to say they deserve 5 stars, but I'm gonna keep them hungry, and gave us 4 stars.
Listen, good people. What you don't have to do is worry about where we eat. That's what you don't have to do. You don't have to worry about...
We hungry.
We stay hungry.
We got this.
We only want 5 stars.
I need to go back and do back a review.
If you give us less than 5 stars, it will not be read on this podcast. Okay? And if I had the power, I would delete it off Apple. What's wrong with you? I digress.
Listen, we do appreciate your feedback. And again, if there is ever anything under the 5
say
stars,
that part.
please message us.
That's a private message. That's a DM situation.
Yeah, people ghost people. Well, just let us know up front. Handle. See, I almost feel like giving less than 5 stars is you needed to go back and listen to how to handle conflict. Because this is not the direct line of communication.
I was trying to post something on your Facebook wall.
No, thank you. You could have sent me a direct message.
This is the wrong space.
Yeah. I sent a message today and I was like, I'm not finna message. I'm not finna comment on this post. But I do want to message her. And I am going to message her.
Privately.
Hilarious. Yeah. And I also know I would like the dialogue to continue, right?
We'll take the dialogue.
Yeah.
4 stars to be hungry.
I don't know. Next time I see this person.
Next time we see them.
It might be a side eye.
It might be a couple.
And then hug. But then a side eye.
What with you?
Then sit silently next
I want them to be hungry. Let's get into it here. We definitely do. Being in love versus loving your partner loving your partner here. Yes. Now, this was something that I've heard many people kind of talk about this off and on about whether you need both or you only need one, etc. So we're gonna dig into it today. We're gonna dig into it today. First off, is there a difference? Is there a difference between the two, being in love and just loving someone hard? What do you think?
Yeah.
Is there a difference between the two?
There is a difference.
There is a difference.
And
okay.
I think, to contextualize the love, you're thinking about that love to your spouse, to your partner, right? But I do think we can kind of experience this in different ways, I was talking to Damon and just, there is a difference between love and being in love. Like, you can just love someone and just care about their well-being. But being in love, I think, does take that to more of a romanticized concept of the person that makes it this in love.
Yeah, in love is 100%. I mean, context is key. Great point to start with. Like, if you in love, like, that's already off top. We trying to be at a high, I won't say the highest level, but like on this romantic, like it's no longer just trying to be platonic.
You got me up so high.
Ooh, come on, that's that first album. That's
That's what I'm thinking about,
like you go
in love. I'm just like,
like we're on a different
9.
lane here where we feel about the person, in this romantic thing. So there's definitely a difference. And I think that's important to understand. It's important to walk into that and to know that, I'm going to love you hard. But when you're also in love with someone, the feelings are different. The actions are different. The desires are different, right? The goals are different. And that's important to know that. Because if you're in a relationship and, that may not be the case, then there may be time for some good, healthy dialogue and conversation about that.
Right.
Now, go ahead.
I think another thing, too, with love and in love is like, in love is the romantic side of it to me in a lot of ways. But then, like, you can love anyone.
Anyone.
Can love my children, love my husband, love my friend, love my mom. But I don't think I'll be in love with my mom. There's no level of in love with my mom. Like, I might love some amazing characteristics about her, or there are some moments where feels so bonded through certain ways. But the in love is like this romanticized. And I have definitely been in love with my children, like in a very maternal, when they were babies. And I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm just so in love with this baby. I'm infatuated with this baby. They can do no wrong. They are beautiful.
So that parental, that parental type of love.
Right. Now, I am not in love with any of them anymore. I do very well love them very strongly. And I do think there are moments where it's like, oh, they just tug my heart. But that because babies, they tug your heart. You're like, oh my God.
The smell, they get in your...
You're sniffing on the toes and
you're biting.
There's nothing sweeter.
You're constantly putting your face on their face, your body on their body. That's consistent.
It's just so sweet, right? And that's like, I feel like that moment. And I feel like when we're in our relationships, that in love, a lot of that comes from that first spark of love, too.
That first spark.
Yeah.
That first spark.
Yeah.
It's funny about those babies because it's definitely different. Like, it's one thing to snuggle up with a 3-week-old baby who smells like breast milk and just burps. But then a musty 6-year-old, it ain't the same.
Like, ooh, I love you.
Ooh, all right.
Love
it's
shower
time.
You.
I think we should shower right now. But so that's one for sure. But that beginning phase, and I think there's also like this over romanticizing the beginning phase of being in love and the puppy love phase, regardless of your age, because there can be this misconception that phase has to end at a certain time. Right? Which kind of leads to another point of, like, for a healthy, long-lasting relationship, right? To go the distance, if that's a goal for you, to go long-term, till death do you part, just to be together as long as you can be, do you need both, right? Like, throughout the relationship, I'm going to love you hard with everything I got, but then we also want to be in love. Like, is there a necessity to constantly have both, or can you just go with just like one? You know what I mean? And I personally think you got to have both. Now, I do think that they can kind of go in waves. They can kind of go in cycles, per se, right? Like, there's always seasons. There's seasons in life, right? And so you've got right? Couture and I, 13 years together, 16 years in this thing, baby, if you don't know this, right? There's seasons where, or there's even just like, by season, I don't mean like 2 years. I mean like days, weeks, months, or maybe something like that, where it's like that in love is just high. Maybe we come off of a vacation. Maybe, things are just good in the bedroom. Who knows what's going on? Maybe we're just laughing a lot. And we just kind of just, again, infatuated, in that moment. And so there's moments of that. And then there's moments when it's not as high with that, right? But that love and that bond of knowing that, and when we're talking about like love, like I want to do best for them. I want to do whatever it takes to please and to honor them and to respect them and to be there for them. When you're talking about just that pound for pound love. But do you think there's a necessity for both?
Yeah, of course. But I do think that love is constant. Like that's the cool thing about love is when you, and especially in that definition, it's your well-being, your best interest. I care deeply. I will move things around. I will move mountains. I will, I love you. I think of you. I want to tell you this. I want to connect with you. I care. Love. Constant.
Boom.
The action of in love, I feel like is not constant. And I feel like it does, like you said, it definitely has its places and its moments. And I think because it happens again in the beginning so strongly, because it's new, right? New. Like love. I love hearing my friends tell me about a new guy they met. And you can see them start to like fall for them. It's like watching. I told them like being in love is almost like the state of a rom-com, where you just like, you're just excited and everything they do. Just the giggles, the smiles. It's that new feeling. It's those butterflies. It's that reminder of why you love someone. To me, it's the action of being in love. And I think that we need to be recharged with that a lot more frequently than maybe our relationships have allowed for at times. But when it does come in, it's exciting. Like it takes me back to being in high school. It's like or we told y'all about like the moment of bliss we've had before, like after our little breakup at one point, and we came back and we were just 6 months. Loving each other. Just hey, how you doing?
Hey.
I just want to be right here, rubbing you, touching you. You just hands ain't that. Ooh man, I don't even like them shoes, but they look good on you today.
Polo again.
It's like it's like blinders, right? In love is just this like sweet little infatuation. Ooh. And I think. It still does happen throughout the longevity of your relationship, but it's not necessarily constant in most cases because life is going to happen and that person's going to get on your nerves, and that emotion of they can do no wrong in love is not applicable.
No. You're like, you chew like that?
Oh, I do love you, though. And so I'm going to accept that, but this is not a moment where I'm in love.
You don't know how to put your shoes away. Okay, all right.
So that's my thoughts. Like, love constant in love is
ebbs and flows.
Continuous.
Yeah. Ongoing.
Yeah.
I got it. Highs and lows. I got it. Well, listen, we're going to dig into it more, but really quick, take a quick break.
So I don't really love to cook as the primary cook in this family. However, what I do like is to jazz up the meals when I do cook, right? I'm looking for spices, seasonings, dry rubs, and I found a good place. It is Artisan Dry Goods made by beautiful Briny C. So a little bit of everything to spice up, jazz up your meal. It is a local store right here in Atlanta, but ready to ship out to you all over the world.
Absolutely. And they're legit. I'm going to be honest with you here. Forbes, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and Oprah's magazine. And you know Oprah only going to promote the good stuff, all right? So check them out. Instagram, beautiful Briny C. Make your kitchen better. All right, I'm talking about real good ingredients, urban gardens, local farms, so it's good for your taste buds, good for your body. Check them out, and let's get to the episode. All right, we're back. Check them out. Beautiful Briny C. Nothing but greatness in that pantry. All right, so we're into the in love, being in love. Let's dig into a few examples of, because I was in my Facebook group, and this was another conversation that popped up. and the examples were all over the place. And I want to see if we can give maybe a few examples that could be helpful for somebody here, or good refresher for people maybe of the distinction. Because maybe you think that you are in love, and your bae like, we, no, we in the valley right now. Like when we think of being like when you think about loving someone, like when I think about loving Katoya, I think about like just trying to just serve. Like there's nothing like romantic about it, right? I don't have any butterflies trying to serve. And it could be a variety of things. That could be I know that like chores, right? Just straight up doing that, or making sure the showers are going. Like it's not sexy, no. Right? But what I know it's going to be helpful. I know that it's going to be pleasing. Like you come in a house and the house is clean, it smells good, right? You know what I'm saying? And that may lead to, a little kiss and touch, because you're like, okay, you out here loving me like that, right? It may lead to, but the mentality of loving her is just that's just an example of like, I just want to love her like this, boom, right? And I'm not thinking anything of it. What do you think of when you think of maybe trying to love me per se? Anything, just pound for pound,
being productive, knocking out multiple things, that makes that being timely. Those are very practical ways to just love Damon. And in return, I believe that allows for more of the space for the in love moment on him, right? He's like, man, look at her. The more it looks a lot like service, like being considered. It's like love can be like, oh, I love you, and you can say you love somebody.
Words.
But some of those actions of doing those things that make them feel love actually rekindle and ignite that moment of being in love, right? Like taking care of something, or we've talked about love languages. So just kind of loving them through their love language will definitely spur on that, like that infatuated moment of being in love.
Do you think that loving someone could be a gateway drug for being more in love?
Yeah.
Like because you said, being productive, like the way that you were loving me, we're different people here, but like when you love me in those ways and you kind of serve, and maybe we're doing something and we're being punctual, or whatever the case may be, that kind of gets my gooses in a bunch, right? And so the engines kind of gets going. that was off the dome. You can take that right down.
But it's happened so many times. It's like, I know we just had like this really productive conversation, and then Damon will just kind of look at me and be
the bucket full, right?
Hey,
the bucket full, like, oh shoot,
this is not.
Oh wait,
this.
We just did all the laundry? Oh, look at that empty bed.
We ain't got nothing to do no more. They done because we knocked out everything.
We put the kids down at 7? And so I think loving your partner can
it's
be
so weird.
I think loving your partner can be a gateway drug.
That's like some old boy people say, and some young people are like, what in the what?
Young people ain't live life. They ain't live life right
here.
They're sharing a 2-bedroom with 4 people.
Y'all, I've
and
been
3
faced
forks.
with this reality. Like things just the you were 10 years ago is not the you are today.
Yeah. And no knock. It's not a knock.
It's just called growth in life.
It's just different. It's just different, right?
And that's what I'm saying. It's like that type of stuff really does, spark that oh, I'm in love with this person. Just the way they keep loving. Like if you know me, I'll be like, no, Damon's a good guy. Damon's a good man, and I'm with him all the time, and I still tell you he's one of the most sincere, kind men I know, right? And I think that means a lot, that when people are around you all day, been with you every day, they know you ugly, bad, mean, your weaknesses, but they can still say like valid, true, upstanding things about you. I think that's a good exercise too. Like for your partners, just be like, what is that one thing I can say? Like without a doubt, no one's gonna try to take that idea away from me based on what I know about my partner. That makes them just such a good person, or something that you really love about them. Because if you love that about them, it's very likely that will spur on that in love feeling. Being
in love. Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second here. What do you think it looks like for us in general? Especially you brought up the rom-coms earlier. Like when somebody is in love, or maybe when you feel like, ooh, we're in a high, we're in a peak right now of that in love phase. What does that feel like to you? You think? What's kind of going on internally, externally?
Yeah. Externally, it's like more googly eyes, more touching, more like more affection, more.
Affection.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more physical, like desire to be next to and to want to do. I think that looks like scheduling more things to do together. It's like a not just wanting the space, not just wanting like it's more of wanting to be together and do things together and spend time together. I feel like the in love actually means I really want to enjoy the one to one.
Yeah. I think in love is the enjoyment of being wanting to do things together, which goes back to the early phase. When you're dating, you want to call them on the phone. I'm just driving home from work. Just want to talk to you for
I love you when you get out.
You know what I'm saying? Now I got to get out of here. You hang up. No, you hang up. Like all those moments of wanting to just do anything together with them.
Yeah.
You know, we just go to the house and just sit and just be on the porch and just talk. Like those are moments. I think that's true where it's like there is this real sense of I just want to be next to you. I want to be around you. I want to talk with you. And that feels like some type of in love type of moment. I want to touch you. I want to smell you, right? Agreed. Whereas that loving hard, how can love could tell you hard from a distance?
Yeah.
Right? And so
side by side.
we could be side by side.
Say hey, I love you, move on.
Right, we're paying bills on time. So it feels different and it looks different. But when that in love is in that good groove here, it's like, what time you get home? 5? Okay. You want me to meet you? Like what we doing here, right? And so I think that is definitely that's how I always, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, you should be subscribed on YouTube because right now I'm showcasing. This is the only way I know how to. This is the only way I know how to hold the phone.
Hello.
But what's the other way how to hold the phone? Like you hold it like. Hey, how do I hold the phone? How hold it? I guess you're right. My thumb is up. like a hijack. How do y'all hold the phone when you try to mimic a phone? How do you hold it? Do you hold like a walkie-talkie?
Yes, I do. That's how we hold our phone.
I feel like an air traffic guy.
That's how we hold our phone.
Hey, what's up? Yo, this is. Yeah, we're down here. You gotta cover your ear. We're down here in the pot. This is Foxtrot. This is Foxtrot 267. We need a tank. Anyway.
Say hey like this. Hello. Hello. That's a 2021
How do you hold
phone.
Hello.
I wonder how Liv then would do it. I'm gonna ask the kids.
They don't hold
it. Show me how you do
it. They hold it like this. Kids, we're really being very physical right now, so you gotta subscribe on YouTube.
Oh man, we used to FaceTime grandparents so much that I remember when they were young and they were like, I don't know how to use. We're talking to them, but I don't see them on this phone. I was like, yeah, this is just how the phone call.
This is not a FaceTime. Yes, that was the journey for sure.
Ooh, that's funny. But anyway, yes, no, it's that constant contact. It's that, and then taking it even more into more physical. It's the I want you. I want to feel you, be with you. You know, that intimacy is spurred on from there too.
I think being in love, you want to be with them. I think you want to be with them in whatever it means. Like you just constantly. Like when I was in 2 weekends. I've been in different states, and on that way back, I started getting those goosebumps. Like on the way back, I'm like, ooh, I'm about to get to the house. My wife at the house. I'm like, ooh, okay, right? Now I'm out in the streets, do some shows, all that love, ha. But that morning of the flight home, it's like, oh shoot, I gotta get to the house. And then you get in the house, and it's like, hey.
I was like, hey, okay, I didn't meet him where he was.
It's okay. It's all right. Hey. You gotta take that Superman cape off and put that Clark Kent back on.
What's up? Good to see you.
Yeah,
welcome back. Let's get going.
No, I need you to go tell your daughter to sit down. That's what I need you to go do.
I'm sleepy. I'm tired.
Oh man,
no, that's the reality. And
it's a reality.
That's another thing too. It's like
a reality.
You know, are we on the same page? You know, I mean, and it's not necessarily the same page or off this page. It's just this moment, you know. And me and Damon are like, hey, you at a 7.
Check him in.
And I'm at a 4. And so we're gonna miss each other right now.
Just a little bit.
You are really feeling me right now, and I'm just not there yet. This moment. And I feel like that's a moment where you're like, "Ooh, I'm in love. Ooh, I want you. Ooh,
what you doing?
But if they don't meet you, that can be challenging.
It can be challenging.
So oftentimes I'll try to step up and meet no matter what. You know,
likewise.
Be more selfish.
She'll come in at an 8. I'm at a 3. I'm like, all right, give me 5.
And he more like me. Give me 5 minutes to try to maybe join you. What?
Yeah, I'm saying, like, give me 5 minutes to get let me go to the bathroom, slap my face a little bit.
And I'm
you
like,
know?
never mind.
And I
Lost.
come back, I open the
went
door.
back
She's like, no.
I went back down to love.
I moved down. I'm just back down to love. I took off, put the N, put the I-N on the shelf.
Yeah, I feel like there's just there's a want when there's that in
There's an ebb and flow, for sure. Really quick before we get out of here, are there a few ways maybe that we've done, you've heard about or whatever, like just to continue to, I mean, we kind of probably hit on it a little bit already, but like to cultivate and kind of, if you feel like maybe somebody's in the mud, they're kind of stuck and it's like, there's the infatuation, the desire to be around each other, the desire to be close and all of that is kind of, we're in a dud, we're in a tough spot because we've, 16 years, we're going to have them as well. And, there's different ways. Every couple's different, for sure. Let that be known. But, there's just ways that you try to cultivate and kind of reignite, some of that. Anything that comes to your mind here for a couple who's maybe trying to reignite some of that in love? What do you think of off top?
Yeah, do something together. Do something that you both enjoy. Make sure
they both enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go find that activity you enjoy. Go reconnect through some way without any other distractions or anything. Try to serve in a way that your spouse wants to be served, and that'll, it's kind of one of those you did it, and then therefore they give you back some love too, and then you feel that, and now you're on the same page, right? So I would say those are my first suggestions.
Well, if you can, for sure, I think, I won't say easy, but I think one way to kind of be a quick, strong charge is just to try to sneak away, right? No kids, sometimes, not always, it can be a little easier, but even with kids, if you can try to figure out how to make that happen, just get a quick, if you get 2 nights sleeping in somebody else's, an Airbnb, a little hotel, and just kind of just be mano a mano, just together, right? And just kind of have that moment to be close together consistently. I'm not worried about bills. Right. I'm not worried about responsibilities, and just kind of go out. That's one. And listen, it's a broken record, but really, I was in this Facebook group, as I do, and I posed a question. I was like, how consistently are we having date nights now? I was specific about now. Right now, as of recording, this is in the midst of a pandemic, September 2021. 200 people commented. 200 people commented. Or if you 200 people commented, and I didn't count them all, but I counted enough. And most people are like, we are in fair. Again, I get the safety stuff, but most people are like, we haven't had a date night in a long time. I think they were talking they were definitely probably talking pre-pandemic, right? And so when you're just kind of in that, come in, kids, work, responsibilities, life, even no kids, just chores, and it just kind of gets into that side by side. So that infatuation, those goosebumps, that spark kinds of fade. Yeah. Right? As humans, as adults, it kinds of fade. We're juggling 8 things. And so if you're not putting on a cute little dress, if you ain't putting on no smell goods you ain't gotta be no crazy. Just step out to a nice dinner with a candle.
Something
you ain't gotta
intentional.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're already got your thighs out, okay. You know what I'm saying? Oh shoot, got your chest hair out, okay. Right? Where it just kind of gives a little bit of that spark and just kind of tries to reignite a little bit. Those are just a few examples just to keep fighting for. Because that in love, as you get older and in a relationship more, more the distance, it doesn't get easier.
It's true.
It doesn't get easier. So, Couture and I have been on a journey with that, and as you are as well, and we all trying to figure it out. We all trying to figure it out. So
be in love.
Fight to be in love, and like you said here. Loving people is a gateway drug.
I did not say that.
I was trying to give you credit because it was a pretty good coin. I was trying to let you wouldn't. That was a good coin. I tried to get. All right.
But I did say that love is constant, and that love.
Oh, you're gonna go back to what you actually said.
Yes, is something that that comes and goes.
Comes and goes.
Yeah.
Comes and goes. Keep
but
fighting for it.
I did like the gateway drug. I just, I don't really use that term.
Okay.
But I thought it was good.
Thank you for that. We're finna get out of here. Listen, as always, we hope you found some value. Hope you had a good time listening here. 100. We did the summer goal. We got to figure out a new goal. But as always, we appreciate the support. Thank y'all so much. You know what it is. It's Damon, Katoya. Talk soon.
Bye.